Alright. That seems to have fixed it. Gotta remember to do that. Gotta like make notes for myself. Okay, let's switch songs back over to this. Alright, so as you can see, oh, you can't see, let me transition it. As you can see, I decided to start with cross stitching instead of with writing. Why? Because I could. That's why. So, as you can see from this camera, I've positioned the mic a little differently. Let me see if I can change this one a little for you. Alright. This Clippy was not designed for that microphone. It was designed for another one. There we go. It still causing the same problem. I guess I'll just pull it over here. So there you go. You guys can see me as I'm working. The idea is just to have it up so I'm not breathing down on it. So. Is that zoomed in enough? No, not that. Yep. Long as you can see by the picture there and what you've got right here, this is what I'm working on. It's for a fallen soldier's family. Oi. And I need to grab the pattern. All my cross-stitch stuff got moved around because I went somewhere and took it with me. So. Yes, I'm currently working on... Oh, I need my pencil. I'm all over the place today. Pencil, where are you? Robisto. Waynick, calling me Waynick. All right. So. I am working on the green color that you see right here. I'll hold it up a little higher. So there's a little bit of open green space right there, which I know is kind of hard for you guys to see. But so yeah, right there, that green stuff, that's what I'm working on, the light green. There we go. And I am currently that part right there. So and this is going to kind of fill up a little bit of this mountain here. There's only one other real color with a couple of minor ones that I missed before that I'll need to fill in. I may fill them in with colors related to them instead of the actual colors, but we'll see. Okay, so welcome to the stream, Live It Overseer and Banjo Summers. Doing a little cross stitching here. Just getting myself set up again. You can see in the picture there, the top right. That's what I'm working on. How are you guys doing today? Sometimes this needle is a curse. I love this needle because it's got just enough of a point. It's not really sharp. There's some needles that are just too sharp to do this with. These slice right through most of the stuff that's happening, and I don't want that. Okay, so I need to come. Actually, it's right here. You'd think as the thing gets more filled up that it would be easier to deal with, but sometimes it's not. Because the pattern can sometimes get confusing. Well, it's more confusing when you're trying to look between where you are on the pattern and where you are on the actual canvas here. The cloth that I'm cross-stitching. I was hoping to actually show off another piece that I'd worked on with my wife's, let's see, 11 years ago. We made a wall hanging for my daughter, but I didn't have a chance to find it, and I did a brief look, but I think it's actually in storage. Just something we still have to deal with. Moving, such a time-consuming thing. Let's come a little closer here so it's more centered what I'm working on. My cloth is getting a little, you might be able to see it here. It's getting a little loose right there. So I'm going to make an adjustment and just see if I can't tighten it just a little. It's not creating a problem in terms of I can't work. It's just the pattern kind of bounces and flexes a little as I'm trying to push through it, and so that's what I'm trying to avoid with getting my headphones tangled in my cross stitch. I have done that before. Managed to pull the needle in a way and I wasn't paying attention to where my headphone cable was, and just when I went to pull the stitch through, it grabbed the cable, because I'd gone around the cable, it pulled the cable and tried to pin it to the back. I didn't actually go through the cable with the needle, I just kind of wrapped the thread around it. That was fun. I had to take the needle out to fix that. Well, I didn't have to, it was just quicker and easier to do it that way. Okay, so fill all of these up right here. No. Okay. So how's everybody's Saturday? My Saturday started off a little bit later than I wanted. Stayed up too late reading comics. Marvel Unlimited. Why must you offer me such good reading material in such abundance? I think I have a knot. Let's see. I do indeed. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there, there's a piece of thread. It's just kind of trying to hook it with my finger there so you guys can see it above my finger. It's right there. What happened was the thread tied itself in a bit of a knot instead of coming all the way through. So I'm going to need to pull the needle off and attempt to fix it. See if I can bring you guys in a little closer so you can see. So it's right here. You can see that piece of thread right there. Right there. So I need to pull it loose if I can. I think if I actually let the thread come back through a couple of times, I might be able to fix it. If I'd gone much farther, I probably would have just hooked it in and let it be, and just run one of these threads through the loop and pulled it. There we go. So now I can pull the thread out, and now see about getting this thing. Yep, there we go. It basically formed a slip knot. So because of that, I could just basically hook my needle through the loop like so, and then just pull until it got to the point where I had to pull the needle out and then just yank on the rest of the thread to pull the needle free. I have some strings on the end here. Gotta basically cut it. Okay. Zoom you back out just a little so you have a bit more field of view. Ooh, helps if I have the eye where I need it. Always got to moisten your thread to get it through there. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. See, you can do it. What am I listening to? Echoes of Time, version 2 by Kevin MacLeod. It's hard to see. Does this thing show it? Let's see. While I get back to cross stitching. Yep, there it is. Echoes of Time. Okay, so make that go away. There we go. Just make it so I can see some things more easily. That's all. There we go. So after this, I'm actually going to do, that was one of the reasons why I didn't change the title of the stream, because I was originally just planning on doing some Minecraft today. Originally. But I decided I wanted to get some other stuff done. Basically I'm having a creative day. So my wife and daughter, they're on their way to Michael's right now to complete some kind of crafty project. Once we have our car, we're getting in a couple weeks, I'm going to make a trip to Michael's myself to see about getting a mount that I can attach this wood frame to, so that it's kind of up in the air, positioned in a place that you can see it, but so I don't have to actually hold it. I mean, I'll probably still have a hand on it just to balance it, but I don't have to come up with creative things like that to keep it flat when I set it down. Oh, dang it, I did it again. What is going on today? Exact same knot. What is wrong with all you thread today? That one was easier because it just happened. I have yet to have like a true knot happen on stream yet. That's, ugh. You talk about not fun to watch. Sitting here watching a person just pull at thread with, trying to untie a knot with any progress being made. That's definitely not exciting viewing. Mr. McCloud, your song is not doing it for me. How much longer is it? Yeah, it's almost over. Yay. Okay, continuing with this mountain. I'm mostly going to be able to fill. There's a bunch of gaps right along here that may not be easy to see, but like right there. Here, actually, let me pull a light over. There, just some light on it. So that's a little better. Okay, so there's a series of stretches right through here that I'm mostly, from the pattern, going to be filling, it looks like. Yeah. Almost all of this stuff up here is going to get filled. And there's just a patch down here. It's going to get filled with pretty much another color, one whole color. Yeah, it's going to fill a lot of these gaps right here. But I won't be just switching to that color to finish this side as I've shown before. I will be moving on. I will be basically moving this because there's a whole lot more to this. As you can see in the picture up there, I'm working on that left peak to the where the eagle is facing. I'm going to be continuing on over to the other side, on the butt of the eagle side, that mountain behind it, at least over to the right of it, to finish off the same color. So, but I got enough to keep me occupied here for a while. Good morning, Cassis Belly and Maconchetta. How's it going? How's your Saturday treating you? I spent all week creating stuff for other people. I decided I wanted to work on something that was my own. Well, something of my choosing. This is still going to be given to somebody else. So technically, it's not mine, but it's a project that I chose to start. My mom, when she came to the idea of making something for a fallen soldier's family, she said, make it simple. I'm like, no, I'm not going to make it simple. I want this family to know that somebody invested a lot of time and effort in making something in honor of their son. So not so simple. More time consuming, yes. Definitely. And having done a couple smaller ones for some family members around Christmas time, definitely a lot more complicated. But I've been doing this for almost 30 years, so it's not as complicated. And when I show people this picture and the pattern, the first response is, "Holy crap! That's so complicated." I'm like, yeah, it looks like it, but you got to break it down. It's like a soundboard. You can't focus on the whole. You just got to focus on the part that you need right now. Focus on a single channel, learn that channel, and then notice that all the other channels look pretty much the same. So, is that through? Okay. If you heard that chime, my apologies. It's people inviting me to things on Facebook that they know I'm not going to be able to attend because I don't live anywhere near them. But at least this one had the word virtual in it, so I don't know. Maybe it's something I can attend. Like, I just got invited to a book event, a book release party in Montana. Like, I don't live in Montana, so I'll say I'm interested in your event because I am. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to go. Again, toss out my usual thanks to my hosts, Ion B, JPZ Mineezy, and Pixel Sharks. I'm not sure what Cellist Mike's channel is hosting. I'm sure he's probably hosting something like Extra Life. Usually he's around, but so thanks again for those people sharing my stuff with everybody else. You guys know I gladly return the favor whenever I can. At least this time I didn't set myself up with thread for a whole pattern and only to realize, oh crap, I finished that one. Yeah, that was 30 to 35 minutes of one of these streams last week or so. Oops, my bad. And that was actually why I ended up doing a whole extra hour. Because I felt like, oh, I robbed you guys of seeing it, so I had to quickly change colors so that they could see some actual cross-stitching being done. It's kind of nice having a house to myself, although really when I'm back here, because my office is in a closet, in the farthest back reach of the house is where I work. So a lot of times I can feel completely alone even when everybody's home, but they're not home, which is nice. No chance of interrupting. I try not to ignore my family when they come in to interact with me. Hoping to actually do some more Minecraft with my daughter tomorrow. Just depends on the schedule. I may, and how she behaves this afternoon. We could do it later today. She does Minecraft in German, so for you German speakers, I know that by then most of her friends in Germany will be asleep. But hey, I can't fix everything. She is exploring in a new world. I keep trying to get her to explore more and build some other things, but she's so obsessed with this farm and this cliff house that she built. Well, it's kind of a cliff house. Yeah, I guess it's built off of a cliff that. Oh wait a minute, I did the wrong one. It's built off of a cliff that also has a lot of trees on it. So my initial thought when I looked at it was she built a tree house with a diving bridge that she likes to run and jump off of. I think I actually highlighted one of those clips from her the other day. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump everything. Yeah, so she loves jumping off of that into the water and saying Platsch, which is German for splash or plop or something like that. It's very obvious what it means, even if the word doesn't directly translate, but I'm pretty sure it's splash. I definitely think I'm going to make sure I finish this color on this side. There's another bit I am going to have to work in to the middle here. There's only this part a little bit down the stretch right here and this section over here for this color, and then that part in the middle, and then I can start working my way over here. There's a little bit right there, and then I can continue it on over to the next one. So for my viewers who are clearly lurking, what are you currently creating? If you are major lurking, feel free to not answer. I'm just curious what other people are making. It's interesting to see what people make. I've jumped in on several creative streams to find a lot of different things being made. It's kind of cool. A lot of digital art. I see a lot of digital art. I see a lot of cooking. That just cracks me up. How many people will tune in for cooking channel. It's not something you would expect to be very popular. But seeing it as a lot of the streamers I've seen who are doing that are putting a geeky twist on it, and also try to find things that are relatively easy to make that you could snack on and stuff when you're streaming and gaming and stuff. I could see the interest. I won't be. Maybe I could get Art, my wife, to do some. I did manage to talk her into doing some Sims streams. She, I think, is going to do her first one this coming Monday evening. Going to just set her up and let her go for several hours. So if you guys are into The Sims 4 and want to join in with her on her legacy challenge, I hear she told me she's going to let viewers participate in naming, I think naming some Sims, picking traits, choosing with like when those little random scenarios pop up where you have to choose one answer or another. So I'll be around helping her. She's the gamer. She's not really the streamer. So she'll be talking to me a lot. I'll be interacting with her. I actually just showed her some. Oh, I think I have a nut. I just showed her some other people. I do indeed. And this time the needle has gone through part of it, so I'm going to have to pull it back a little. It's another slip knot, and there we go. Pull it all the way through. Just when you think you've managed to pull it all the way through, sorry about that, it tricks you. Just to be safe, I'm going to ink on this one to make sure the other side is taut. Okay. Sometimes when those knots happen, you can think that you've pulled a particular stitch tight and continue on, and then realize later that you didn't. There are some tricks you could do to help fix that later, but at this point I'm running out of colors that I'm going to be throwing down in this area, so using another color to just give a tug on the back side to tighten, pardon me, something up. I'm not going to be able to do that much anymore. Okay, so oh, sorry, I was looking for something. I want to check something real quick. Huh. Marvel's Inhumans comes out this week. That's good to know. Yeah, sorry you could hear that. I'm just checking some levels and stuff. Okay. That's all I needed to know. Oh, Bumble's playing some Mario again. I'm going to give her a shout out. If I can find my thing. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, Brian. There you go. So, Bumble, if you like fun with occasional some hardcore games in there, some cooking and some other creative stuff, I highly recommend following her. She's a very good streamer, very entertaining, a nice member of the Lionhearted community, to which I subscribe, or not subscribe, although I do subscribe to some of them. I follow a lot of them. Oh, duh, cut it off. Pay attention, pay attention. Okay. But I'm pretty sure she's actually a team member of the Lionhearted team. But I know she streams, because you can pick communities you would stream to. And there's Cellist Mike with his auto host. I know it's an auto host because he's currently traveling if he catches this later. Hope you're having a good weekend there, Cellist Mike, or Golgoth. Everyone's got multiple names. See, the problem I had is I ended up with nicknames from two different groups of people. One was when I was in school learning Arabic, went to college for it and as a part of my job, and my classmates, one of my classmates didn't. He just got frustrated by the fact that I just didn't get riled up by a lot of things. I was, in his terms, emotionless, which is funny considering that I don't think anyone would describe me as emotionless, but apparently I was putting on a good show there because it frustrated him so much at one point that he decided he was going to have some fun and start calling me a name. And he picked Guthron, which was a mix of my last name and something to make me sound like I'm a robot. And he was convinced, at least he was pretending, he was convinced that I had built my wife and later constructed my own daughter. I mean, it wasn't fun, but initially it wasn't. Initially there was some animosity there. But I decided to take ownership of it and have fun with it. So the name kind of stuck. And when I got to work and we started working online and this secure network, we were required to put our position number in there, and so it just worked. Guthron and the number position I was at, so everyone knew I was on that position. Which, all and well for a while, until I started performing with a fire troop. Yes, I used to perform on the streets, spinning fire, eating fire, stuff like that. Maybe sometimes I'll share some pictures and videos. Not today. But I needed a performance name, and I considered going with Stitch because I do this, and it was kind of like, when you were performing, you were stitching together a performance. But I decided eventually to go with Glitch because I noticed, and this was purely random, but it kept happening. Pretty sure it wasn't actually my influence, but people started messing up. People who, like when we were practicing, performers who I knew how to do these skills perfectly would be practicing, and I would move near them or they would move near me, and suddenly they would mess up. And in my own performance, it was even more. I'd be going along doing stuff that I knew exactly how to do, and then for some reason I would not do the right thing and mess up and have to get myself back into a groove. That happened more often, and so I kind of decided to go with the name Glitch because I was glitching. And eventually that name kind of became more of a online thing, particularly in my work environment. When I moved to the next place, I was known for causing system issues because I was constantly pushing the systems to their limit to do new things in pursuit of success. And the contract IT people just started groaning whenever they'd see me log on. And so Glitch it became, Glitch it was. But I'd already, back in 2012, made the decision that when I was on this network that I was going to do Guthron. Mainly because Glitch is such a common nickname for people that there was no way to get it, and and I didn't want to try, so then Guthrie was unique enough that I could snag that one, so I did. Let's see, the thing is, a large portion of the pixel sharks, they are co-workers from the location where the contractors were constantly complaining about me causing glitches in the system. So, except for Cellist Mike, he just uses that because that's when we really started pushing this online stream thing together as a team to do it more than just once a year. He just went with the name that everybody was referring to as when we were organizing events and actually interacting in a channel, in a voice channel. So, I think I'm going to go this way. So that occasionally when I'm streaming with the Pixel Sharks, you'll hear that name dropped. Not really sure why I decided to tell that story. Oh, because Cellist Mike has different names. His gaming handle is usually Golgoth. I don't remember the origins, but that was I think that was actually the name of a character in WoW that he made. But his thing for email and logging into his username for things, he just made Cellist Mike. He is a cellist. He has a cello. I'm not sure he plays as much anymore, but I know he has it. As you can see, I'm doing that center section right there. That's the section right here. It's a little bit through here and then over and then back over this way. And then after that, I jump up here to do that section right there. And then we jump over here to do a little bit more there. And then I have to actually roll this thing. Well, actually, I think I can do a little bit more without rolling it if there's any on this side, but I'm pretty sure that the rest is on the other side of the eagle. So if you're looking at the eagle in that picture there, the rest would be above and to the right of his tail. Oops, sorry. Headphones. I love doing things with electricity and machines and technology and stuff like that. I really hate wires with a passion. They always seem to manage to be in the one place you don't want them to be. And they never go where you want them to when you're trying to set them out. Well, for those that want to see where the music's coming from, that is dubtrack.fm. Music for creating. I grabbed a bunch of royalty or copyright free music, some electronic stuff. A large portion of it comes from one source. Sorry, I had a feeling I was heading towards a knot, and I turned around and looked at it, and I was indeed. So we get a nice little mix here between some electronic music and some ambient music and some darker stuff. Darker, it's not really like what some people refer to as dark. I'm not really that particular, but I tend to not listen to dark stuff. My mood is affected by music, and I'd rather not, unless I'm writing a particularly dark piece of a story. Don't really need to be in that place all the time. Alright, what are we looking at time frame? We're at 40 minutes, so probably going to call this at an hour even. Just because there are other things I want to work on today. I will definitely be switching to Minecraft next. And I'm only going to take like a couple minutes break. I may actually leave the stream up until it's time to start, and then drop it, change the title, and then bring it back up. That way you guys will know when it's starting. In reality, I'll probably just go get something to eat. Grab some food and come right back. I have to be diligent about reminding myself to eat. And I've spent so long working in a regimented world with a fairly consistent schedule that when I suddenly shifted out of that world, a lot of my daily routines got messed up. And remembering to feed myself was one of them. And between all the stress of moving and changing jobs and doing this all in a foreign country before finally coming back here, I managed to lose a lot of weight. And people have been commenting about it, so I have been trying to rectify that. But you guys didn't tune in to hear me talk about my health issues. You're here to watch me create something. What the heck is Tabletopia? I have to send myself a message. Hey, check out whatever this is. I have a really long Facebook message conversation with myself with things to remind me to go back and look things up. I need to get to the post office. I have some book-related stuff to mail to people. Not really sure where that thought came from, but oh, the Facebook message thing. Yeah, a bit random today. I've been working hard all week with my new job, writing content online, and hadn't had much time for just being myself. I have to get my typing speed up. I'm working on coming up with a schedule that will allow me to maximize my time doing stuff for the job while not wearing me out and taking up the entire day. Alright, because I will be stubborn about it and keep working even though I know I need to take a break. It'll be like just one more article, one more point in this article. Oh God, just one more. Before I know it, 4 hours has gone by and not as efficiently as possible. So luckily, I'm with a very good employer who works to help you get up to speed. Wait, is that right? Is that right? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Just double checking. Never hurts to double check your pattern if you decide to start doing this. If you have any inkling of doubt, check your pattern just to make sure you're in the right place. So I was just checking to make sure. Okay, click. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to bump the mic. Change how I'm holding this thing. Wrist is starting to hurt. I don't know if you can see it in the camera because of how I shifted the mic. That camera, which is normally over there, kind of looking across the desk so you could see all of what I'm doing. But basically I'm pinning it against my chest. Yeah, Just sit like that. No, stop. Okay, I really don't like that camera. I want to replace it. It's actually the camera from my old computer that my daughter uses, which currently is out of commission because for some strange reason the store from which we purchased power supplies when we lived in Germany didn't offer any world voltage ones, you know, with that switch. It's the first time I can remember ever seeing a power supply on a computer that didn't come with that little switch in the back to switch it from 110 to 220. Or whatever it is, or 115 to 240, whatever it is. Anyway, world voltage. So you can go back and forth. Your little iPod and iPad chargers, they're world voltage kind of things. You just have to have the right adapter for them. So when we got here, because I put the same power supply on my new computer, I had to quickly order one. It's very frustrating to get our our unaccompanied baggage, which takes less time to move, and be able to set my computer up only to find, oh crap, I can't turn it on. And without a car to quickly get somewhere, I had to hop online and order one. I think from Amazon? Yeah, it had to be. Had it there the next day. For free! Yay, Amazon Prime. Which, while it can't be used for me, I'm going to remind viewers that this is September. If you have a user or a viewer streamer that you particularly enjoy that has that option for you to sub to them, it's 50% this month. I don't think that applies to your Twitch Prime one, but go find that streamer that you really like to watch and support them. And for this month, save a little, your first month, save a little money. Why not, right? If you can do it that way, makes sense to. I'm all about making sure that people get supported for the stuff that they create. In this case, entertainment by way of playing a game and interacting with their community. Alright, so tie this one off. And so for anyone that hasn't seen this happen before, you essentially take your thread and put it through. Let me zoom in a little so you can get a better view. Zoom, 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 zoom. And focus. Okay, so I'm taking my thread and my needle and putting it through some thread right there. I'm going to pull it through like so, and then repeat one more time to tie it off. And if you're a little uncertain about the tie, do it an extra time. Doesn't hurt. It'll really cinch it in there. And, as always, moisten your thread for the next one. Alright, so zoom back out. Focus. Okay, so our next section is going to be, we got 10 minutes, I can easily get this started. Hopefully finished. Our next section is this one right here. That kind of light green blob you see right there. That's all of that we have to do. And that is right here. This looks like all of this. Looks like there's a color that didn't quite get all the way done up here. We'll come back to that later. Anyway, so yep. So now I know where to start. Set that down. Oh, sorry. I really feel bad when I do that. I don't mean to be causing these extra sounds that are potentially annoying. That's what kind of way I need to get a new keyboard. While most of the other keys are still really quiet, there are a couple of them that are getting old. I mean, I've written so many things on this keyboard, and I play a lot of computer games, so that spacebar gets a lot of use. I'm feeling it right there and right there, but mostly on this side right there. It's the result of many, many, many years working too many long hours on a computer. Something I'm still trying to get my former employer to admit for my disability claim. Yay, the VA. Okay, so here we go again. It's really funny when I find, because it's cat hair is what it is, and it just gets on everything. And because of the bulk of this thing, it's not like I can just tuck it away somewhere. And at least one of our cats loves to come in here and cuddle with me. And this morning I came in and my foldable bar stool chair was down, so that means she climbed in. That's what I get for leaving the door open, to make sure the room cooled off. Although it's not been as hot lately. Yesterday I got downright cold in here and had to put a shirt on. I always stream with a shirt on, but when I'm just working, because of the heat back here, I tend to skip out on the shirt. It's one of the nice things of working at home. There are also many, many complications about. Oh, sorry. Many complications. In case you don't know, I actually am at a standing desk. I do most of my work at this standing desk, so I will spend, when I'm here for 8 hours a day working on writing stuff for online and stuff like that, it's done standing. I actually have a pair of house shoes that I make sure are always back here for me to make sure I get the proper support. So if I move, I have these shelving units underneath here, and this is basically just a piece of wood sitting on the desk I had built for and had used for years. I gave to somebody in Germany because I didn't want to take it. It was heavy and it would have taken up a lot more space than this. To give you some perspective, there's only about 2 feet of space between the edge of my desk and this. And there's only about another foot, maybe 1.5 feet tops on the other side of the screen and the wall. And the other wall is right behind that camera. Maybe about 6 inches from behind that camera. So we're not talking about a lot of space here. So I had to be particular. My previous desk was made out of a door. So it would have been, I mean, it probably would have come out, oh yeah, easily another, I would say easily another 5 to 6 inches. But also this wood piece is not all the way up against the wall because I wanted to have space for cords to drop. I am going to get a slightly wider piece. I do want a little more desk space here, and I also am thinking about having it be longer so I have more space to set stuff on. I eventually also want to install a shelf that goes between the shelving units down here so I can actually get my CPU and put it right here underneath. So, well, the things, yeah. But that requires being able to get to Home Depot and bring some decent sized chunks of wood back. I'm going to have to enlist the aid of a new friend of mine. I helped them move Like I met them, I think I only met them once, and they mentioned that they needed help moving. And I'm particularly good at packing a truck. Of course, having to do it all the time. Well, most of the time growing up, I didn't have to do that. But I ended up in a lot of tight spaces, and so I had to figure out ways to maximize the space I had. This section underneath here, while it's still a bit cluttered, is more organized than I've ever had the space below my desk organized. I mean, I got containers for different computer parts and USB cables, and I even have a sliding drawer, or like a plastic thing with sliding drawers in it to help me keep this stuff. Actually, I'm going to do this. And there's the problem of trying to come back through. You might not always come through as cleanly as you're hoping. And as a result, I went through a piece of thread. Man. I'm not really sure why my wrist is hurting so much today. But it does just drive home the point that I need to get one of those stands. Okay, so let's take this one back through. All this to save some thread. If you do hear a slight bit of steady background noise, that's the fan that's keeping cool air from the rest of the house blowing in here. I think it's actually on the middle setting. I need to turn it down one. I'll do that before I switch to Minecraft. You can probably see how that's flexing on me. It's time to retighten. But that requires undoing that, which is the easy one, and that, which is not the easy one. Well, undoing it's easy, but getting it back requires a little help from... Oh. From that, somebody found my tool. I don't know where that came from. Sorry, that was a little loud. I came home the other day. My wife had done me a favor. She put a bunch of my previous achievements and accomplishments on the wall right behind here, and then added a little ambiance in the form of a forest right there. Set me a clock up there, which is also another achievement. I think she's just trying to remind me as I'm doing all this that I can succeed. This new job I'm enjoying it a lot, but the speed of the work is really pushing my limits. No way to save extra thread on that one. So I've got to go to. So I'm having to this coming week going to have to execute some major changes to how I've been doing things in order to get my speed up. As I said, I work for a very good employer who takes the time to work with their writers, train them to become more efficient at writing online. Like they actually send out customized emails to people. I think they're actually customized to the. I think they've already written them. They've got a bunch of like canned ones that they can send, but I think they actually send them to people based on what your performance has demonstrated so far. You might need help in, and Interestingly for me, the last one they sent was all about ways to maximize your time. So between that and another writer that I stumbled across who gave some good advice on how to do some of these things, gonna institute some changes. One of the changes, since it has to do with streaming, is that I'm probably going to move my early morning writing stream that's on the schedule to early afternoon as a break from what I'm doing currently. Yeah, I don't know why this color is marked off. As I'm going through here doing this one right now, I'm noticing that like this color that for some reason is marked out on the paper isn't done at all. It looks like I did it in other places. I just didn't for some reason. It's the problem with doing these things only occasionally. If you're not constantly doing it, you can easily lose track of where you are in the process. So I'll come back later and do those colors. This late in the stream I don't really feel like changing colors, just to fill that off. Plus I'm on this color, I'm going to keep working on it across the rest of the cross stitch. I think I'm going to be able to finish this section with just enough thread without having to really do some interesting things to stretch it. I've had to get really creative sometimes when I'm stretching the thread to its absolute limit in terms of how much it is and how much I can use. And voila! Finished that section. So let me tie this off real quick. I'll do a recap of what I accomplished today. And then I'm going to take a break and come back for some Minecraft. Cellist Mike and I started a fresh world on his realm with nothing in it except ground and a really high sky limit, so that we could build ships. And we're currently working on building the Enterprise from Next Generation. And we're going to also build some Star Wars stuff, have them square off against each other, make it look like they're getting ready to battle each other. As far as the Enterprise is concerned, we don't have an actual pattern. We're kind of just making it up as we go. Alright, so to recap, we have finished this ivory. I think it's ivory. What color is this? What color are you? Yeah, ivory. I was right. Ivory. So we finished the ivory over on this side. We also discovered that I marked off some that wasn't actually done. I'm not going to erase the stuff on here because so much of this is done now. It's very easy to see what's missing and go back and catch it. So, and then I did this section right here. The odd thing is some of the colors are there, so I'm not really sure. So, okay. Let's hold this up. Zoom the camera in a little more. Alright, so we have finished off that color right there, this ivory color right there. You can see it's filling a lot of spaces right there, along there, and over here. The next place we have to jump to is one of the places where it looks like I did the color I was talking about and just didn't mark it off. So weird. So right here, you have a little bit to do on here, and then after that, let's look at the pattern real quick. So that's that section right there off to the side. So let's flip it over and look. Looks like there's a little bit more right there. And then nothing else there, so we're going to have to go to the other side. This thing is so just hanging on together. Where... Huh! There's no more. If that's the case, I think I'm just going to quickly finish this color. I'm not hearing any complaints. So, I mean, it's literally, it's 4, 8, 10, 11, 12, 18, 20, 22. So it's 24 stitches. Yeah, I'm knocking this out. Where'd my bag go? And I could just put this. I don't know if I can put the color to bed, but I can at least put that pattern, that particular stitch to bed. There's the thread. So now this is one of those ones that requires a lot. It's not just 2 threads like most. This is actually 4 threads of the same color, which is really odd. I'm not really sure why they did it. I think they're trying to make, I think the effect they're going for is to have streaks of snow that stand out from the rest. I think that's the effect they're going for. But this is a really long piece of thread. And it's trying to get itself tied into a knot. Okay, yeah, so you can see in the other camera where I am, this is a long piece of thread. Too long for what I need to do. So what I'm going to do is instead of pulling out the extra from this other one, I'm just going to put that one away. And then this one right here, I'm going to fold in half. There we go. Moisten. Which I know some people like to ban that thing from, but I unfortunately need it. So then we cut that thing in half, and just like that, we now have a 4-strand thread that I can use to finish this off. And again, I'm taking the part that's as close to being, the threads are all pretty much right there, because that's where I cut them. It's exactly all together, as opposed to the other side, where, as you can see, hopefully you can see that that one right there is longer than these. So I'm going to put this other side through here and pull it so it's longer than the other one, as I've shown before, but hey, you never know who's tuning in. So now the one that's got the little extra piece is going to be the part that's not tied. Okay, so again, we're going for right there. Right there. It's just a little section right through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to set this down right here for me to reference. So I'll occasionally be pulling the thing out. And this is the area we're going for right here. Thinking I'm going to need to add an extra light for when I do this, because the light isn't exactly reaching all the way down here. So, and it starts next to the top part. See, this is what I'm talking about. This color you can see right here that the thing is pointing at. It's a color that I've already done. It's just not marked off, and it is that color right there, that bright orange. Not sure how well you can see that. So go through, flip, and let's do a tie off. I do it from the front like that so I can make sure I'm in exactly the place I need to be. You don't need to do it that way, but it's helpful. Alright, I have a little extra right there on the tie off side, like the beyond, like this is the side that I'm going to be using to cross stitch. On the other side there's a little extra, and when I'm going around, when I do that, I like to clip the extra off so it's not as nasty. There's one right there I'm also going to do. I don't mean nasty, but I don't like to have those little extra pieces of thread sticking out if I don't need them. If I can eliminate them, I like to. Just gotta be careful you don't snip the wrong thing and suddenly undo your tie. So really, I'm just kind of I'm shaving the ends a little. Before I lose that, let's throw that away in my bag there. Okay, so now we're tied off. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up so it's 2, and then I go below. Really wish I could make the needle stand out more. Considering getting a needle that's a bright color or something that would stand out. I mean, at this point, sorry, this thing's slightly in the way. So point that up a little. There. Just didn't want it to be visible in that camera. So I have to fill that space below it. Okay, so I might as well just go down here. Wonder if it will let me. There we go. There'll only be one more color right in this section to add, so it'll be nice when I come back through to just close things off. And that's what we're getting to here. And we still got a ways to go, but we're making progress. We are making progress, and that's what counts, right? Alright. Pretty sure I filled this bottom section. Yes. And then I go up. And it's just funny, I crossed off a section of that orange color right there that I didn't do over here, but I didn't cross off the one that I did. It's very odd. Odd indeed. Yeah, if you look on here how that stands out, I definitely think that's what they're going for, is the either a white rocky feeling, or I think it's snow. Slight streaked like that. And they want it to stand out on the others. Let's see, there's a section right there. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it, but That right there, this is an example. It's all the way through here and right here and up here. That's where I made the mistake of crossing, like doing full crosses. There's some more up here too, where they're full crossed. It's like a full cross stitch instead of a half stitch. It wasn't supposed to be. There's just so many of them, I don't think I'm going to be able to go back and fix them, so just going to have to leave it. It definitely stands out when you look close enough. So basically I need to fill, yep, just fill this section. And then my own obsessiveness with keeping the back organized and clean is going to come back to bite me now, because I'm going to have to tie this off. Because the jump is 4, and that's just, especially with a color that stands out like that on the back, it's just too much. So we're going to have to do one more tie off and then it's done. One more tie off, tie on, and tie. So 2 more tie offs and a tie on in between. Really is what we're dealing with. Got it caught in another piece of thread. There we go. The next section is right there. It's not, it's 6. And it looks like it's the upper portion. So I think there's a slight gap there. So I'm actually going to end up doing 8. The stitch, the early stitching that got slightly off has made it so that instead of it being a 2 rows of 3, I'm going to need to do 2 rows of 4 to properly fill it. Again, I think only someone who's memorized the pattern or looks it up so they can check it would really be able to tell. And I don't know too many people that would do that. I mean, just saying. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would, but I haven't met them. And the odds that they would be people getting this, or they would know the people getting this or come across them, not very good. So I'm not too worried about it. Besides, this just shows that I'm not perfect. Something we all need to keep in mind, right? The limits of our abilities. Okay. Okay, so I went quiet there for a little bit. So now the recap is we finished that section, so or that color. So there, all that's now done. All right, so let me do a quick cross off of colors. Get the one that I did already out. Shows that it's done. So I'm just waiting around still to be done. And the bit right there that I did. Okay. Alright, so that's going to wrap up that for today. As I said before, I will be right back for some Minecraft. I'm going to get myself some lunch and then I will return. I think I am just going to go ahead and leave the stream running for a bit and then just not do an intro set for the next section. So I will be right back.
I will be your wild and free and fly away.
Alright, so I'm actually back, just making a few little tweaks to this one. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this stream for now, and I will be right back.